Coming up on the Children's Hour, we're going to learn about climate change from Dr. David Gutzler. He's a professor emeritus at the University of New Mexico with a specialization in climate science. We learn what causes climate change and what we can expect in the future if we make no changes today. It's especially concerning to children that many adults are not taking the actions needed to stop catastrophes. Dr. Gutzler helps us understand why changing behavior and technologies to address the warming planet is so difficult for many to adopt. This show is mixed with excellent music. We are so glad you're here. Stay tuned for the Children's Hour. The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated. We're a New Mexico nonprofit that's supported by listeners just like you. Learn more about us and find hundreds of podcasts at childrenshour.org.
It's time for the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.
What's the difference between weather and climate?
I don't know what.
You can't weather a tree, but you can climb it.
It's time for the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.
Kids can do great things. You can fly a long, long way on little wings. Figure out the answers only you can bring. Believe me when I sing, kids can do great things. Kids can open doors, lead us through a world of undiscovered shores. Show us what you notice when it's all brand new. Step on through, we can go explore. Kids can open doors. You can be strong enough to face something you fear. You can be kind enough to pull somebody near. You can be brave enough to stand up for what's right. Even in the darkest hour, you can shine a light. Yeah, kids can do great things. You can fly a long, long way on little wings. I'm thinking of tomorrow and what time may bring. When I sing, kids can do great things. Oh, kids can do great things.
That's Alastair Mook from his 2020 release Be a Pain, an album for young and old leaders. I'm Katie Stone, and you're listening to the Children's Hour, where we know kids can do great things. In fact, we have a bunch of kids with us here at the Outpost Performance Space in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and on Zoom.
Hello.
And who do we have with us today?
Hi, it's Daniel.
Hi, it's Beth.
Hi, it's Illuminata.
Hello, it's Amadeus.
Hi, it's Genevieve.
Hello, this is Cade.
Thank you for being here. And today we're going to be talking about something that's pretty complicated. We're going to be talking about climate change. And I assume, you've all heard of climate change.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the big problems that we have in today's world, but I think that we all have some hope that we can improve it, very much so, and hopefully very soon.
Yes. I mean, it is one of the problems we have that has solutions that are available to us and tools. And we're going to learn a lot more about the problem as a whole and about some of the solutions. Our guest today on the show is Professor Emeritus at the University of New Mexico in Earth and Planetary Sciences with a focus on climate, Dr. David Gutzler. And he's coming up in just a minute. But first, this is from Hayes Greenfield's Music for a Green Planet. You're listening to the Children's Hour.
Just like Mars, this little world of ours is spinning among the stars like it has for a million years. We're not the first ones here to swim within our seas.
Billions have come before, stingrays and manatees.
We are droplets in a river that is universally so. We are passengers that ride upon this globe.
Here to walk upon this land.
Future generations will inherit where we stand.
We all must be respectful of this world we pass along,
so our children's kids can grow up safe and strong. For millions of eons, our globe has swirled and twirled.
We're here for just a tiny blink of time upon this world.
We are borrowing this planet for the days that we are here. And pass it on, pass it on, and pass it This little world of ours is spinning among the stars. Better take good care, it can wind up just like Mars. This little world of ours is spinning among the stars like it has for a billion years. This little world of ours is spinning among the stars. We're here for just a tiny blink of time upon this world. We are borrowing this planet for the days that we are here. Pass it on, pass it on, and pass it on. Then pass it on, pass it on, and pass it on. Then pass it on, pass it on, pass it on.
You're listening to the Children's Hour. I'm Katie Stone. It's great to be here with Dr. David Gutzler again. He's been on the Children's Hour before. He's Professor Emeritus at the University of New Mexico in Earth and Planetary Sciences with a focus on climate. Welcome back to the Children's Hour, Dr. Gutzler.
Thanks, Katie. It's great to be here.
Great to have you. I know the kids on the crew have a lot of questions for you about our topic today, which is climate change.
What is climate change?
Well, climate is just the average weather. And over time, the average of weather it changes. And so we know that, for example, that the biggest climate change we see right now is that temperatures are slowly, year after year after year, getting warmer. And that has all kinds of consequences for our planet and for people and plants and animals that live on the planet.
Is this the same as global warming?
Global warming is part of climate change. It is part of the climate change that gets a lot of attention, and it's a part that we think we understand pretty well. So the overwhelming evidence is that the reason that temperatures are warming up all over the world is because that people are emitting lots of what we call greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which change the way that the atmosphere retains heat and warms up the surface.
What causes greenhouse gases?
Well, greenhouse gases are just a type of molecule that is part of the air, just a few percent of the air, and they're natural. So there are things like carbon dioxide and methane, which form a very small fraction of all the atmospheric molecules. But the amount of these gases is going up for reasons that we understand very well. And these are the gases that affect how heat is retained at the surface, and that makes the climate warmer as we add more of them.
What are the ways that we add those gases to the climate?
There are a number of ways that we add greenhouse gases to the climate. The biggest way is that we burn fuel, things like coal and oil, that as part of burning, when you burn something like wood or coal, as part of the process of generating heat, it releases the carbon that's in the wood or the coal, and those CO2 molecules end up going up in the atmosphere, where they change the way the atmosphere works.
Is there anything else besides greenhouse gases that pollute our environment?
Well, there are all kinds of things that we might regard as pollution. Big cities are typically afflicted with what we have traditionally called air pollution. That's often from different kinds of gases or from just particles of stuff like soot that are bad for you to breathe. That's often why we regard them as pollutants. And so there's all kinds of stuff going on in the atmosphere in addition to the increasing greenhouse gases that we think are causing a lot of global warming and climate change.
What are some of the biggest side effects of climate change?
Well, temperature is warming up, and that has lots of obvious direct effects. It means that heat waves get hotter and cold snaps in general can get milder, but increasing the temperature has all kinds of other effects that we can fill up 1,000-page reports discussing. So among the things that warming climate does is allow more water vapor, humidity, to be stored in the air until it rains out. And that means that in theory, we can expect more intense rainstorms in a warmer climate because the air can hold more water vapor. In addition, another big effect that we discuss all the time is that as the climate warms up, places that get snow can get less snow. And certainly where we're sitting here in Albuquerque is one of those places. And so changing snowpack and melting ice sheets has all kinds of consequences for climate that are mostly the result of warming temperatures.
We're talking about climate change with Professor Emeritus at the University of New Mexico in Earth and Planetary Sciences with a focus on climate, Dr. David Gutzler. There is a lot more to learn. You're listening to the Children's Hour.
How will the world know that you came? By what you leave behind. Everything done leaves an imprint from all of mankind. Footprints are called carbon. Takes from the earth is harming. Make them go away together. We erase and start from a cleaner tomorrow. Make them go away together. We erase and start from a cleaner tomorrow. Let's make it go away. Our carbon footprint. Together we'll erase our carbon footprint. All the trash that we make, all the gas that we're burning, the resources we waste. It's only us that we're hurting. Everything has its place. Nowhere's meant to be messy. The only way we can grow, if Mother Nature stays healthy. The only way we can grow, if Mother Nature stays healthy. Let's make it go away, our carbon footprint. Together we'll erase our carbon footprint. We share a special bond with this planet we call home. Cause everything is connected, nothing separate and alone. From all the birds and the bees, to all the fish in the sea. Animals to man, doing everything that we can. Help a planet Earth, so all of life can expand. Today let's make it right, start with something new and different. Gonna make my mark on Earth but it won't be a carbon footprint. Today, let's make it right. Start with something new and different. Gonna make my mark on Earth, but it won't be a carbon footprint.
Let's make it go away.
Gonna make my mark on Earth, but it won't be a carbon footprint.
Together we'll erase.
Gonna make my mark on Earth, but it won't be a carbon footprint.
Let's make it go away. Our carbon footprint. Together we'll erase our carbon
Today,
footprint.
let's make it right. Start with something new and different. Gonna make my mark on Earth, but it won't be a carbon footprint.
This pretty planet spinning through space, our garden, our harbor, our holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giant, spin us around. All through the night, safe till the morning light. Winter, spring, summer and fall, you give us seasons, we love them all. Up in the sky, rainbows and birds that fly. This pretty planet spinning through space, our garden, our harbor, our holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giant, spin us around. All through the night, safe till the morning light. Lady, bugs on a leaf, snow on the mountains, fish in the sea, animals all around, stars in the sky and trees in the ground. This pretty planet spinning through space, our garden, our harbor, our holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giant, spin us around. All through the night, safe till the morning light. People living in peace, all of the colors over the seas, sharing the world, all of the boys and all of the girls. This pretty planet spinning through space, our garden, our harbor, our holy place. Golden sun going down, gentle blue giant, spin us around. All through the night, safe till the morning light.
That was Andy Mason from Santa Fe, New Mexico, doing This Pretty Planet, which is a Tom Chapin song. Before that, Conscience the MC with Our Carbon Footprint from Funk the Earth. In the background, Climate March from the band War. You're listening to the Children's Hour, and I'm Katie Stone. Today on the show, we're learning about our changing climate. Our planet's climate is changing because of the way we power humanity using fossil fuels like gas and oil and coal. And as we add molecules to our atmosphere, they're cumulative. That's a word that means they add up all together. Each new burned fossil fuel molecule rises up to our thin atmosphere and adds to the others that are already up there from thousands of years of burning carbon-based fuels. We can make changes. And coming up, meteorologist and climate change scientist Dr. David Gutzler tells us what the science says that we need to do.
You're listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio. We'll be right back.
The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated, an educational nonprofit based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're listener-supported at childrenshour.org. Support for the Children's Hour is provided by the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science, announcing Chocolate, the Exhibition, a multimedia science exhibit that engages the senses and traces the evolution of chocolate from a small bitter seed to the delicacy it is today. The exhibit runs through March 2023. More info at nmnaturalhistory.org. Support provided by Electric Playhouse, an immersive entertainment and event experience in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Find your play by exploring electricplayhouse.com to learn about their games, dining, music shows, and more.
I like all of the podcasts because they help me learn a lot. I'm Brooklyn Elder from Albuquerque.
Find hundreds of educational podcasts at childrenshour.org or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Look for The Children's Hour.
We are all waves. We are all waves. We are all waves. We are all waves on the same sea. We are all leaves on the same tree. We are all flowers in the same garden, sleeping underneath the same stars. We have our own rivers and mountains. We have our own boats trying to stay floating. We share the same sun, moon, and sky. Together can we all raise the tide? Everybody feels the waves. Everybody feels the weight. Everybody needs to know where this journey ends. Everybody needs to hug that best friend. And we roll and we roll and we roll and we roll. We are all sand grains on the same beach. We are all chapters in the same story. We are all pieces of the same whole, living on an orbiting globe. We are all ripples in the same stream. We are all thoughts in a beautiful dream. We have our own chart and our own direction to battle till we all can be free. Everybody feels the waves. Everybody feels the weight. Everybody needs to know when this journey ends. Everybody needs to hug that best friend. So much going on. Everybody's feeling changed. Everybody feels the waves. Everybody feels the waves. And they roll and they roll and they roll and they roll. And they roll and they roll and they roll and they roll. Everybody feels the waves. Everybody's feeling changed. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs to know where this ends. Everybody feels the waves. Everybody feels the weight. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs to know where this journey ends. And we roll and we roll and we roll and we roll.
We Are All Waves is Claudia Robin Gunn out of New Zealand from her Sing for the Sea, Little Wild Ocean Friends release. Like waves in the ocean, we've got to work together to control the tide of climate change. And our guest climate scientist Dr. David Gutzler well knows. Today on the Children's Hour, we're learning about our changing climate. Let's go to Genevieve.
I heard cars have something to do with climate change. What do they do?
Most cars run on petroleum, on gasoline, and that's a fossil fuel. So gasoline, when you burn it, not only does it provide the fuel to make the car move, but the exhaust that comes out the tailpipe contains lots of what we call combustion products, including lots of CO2. And so that CO2, carbon dioxide, is a big greenhouse gas, and all those cars, as well as all the other chimneys and smokestacks that are exhausting the products of burning fuel, are emitting CO2 into the atmosphere. So all those cars traveling around all the time are adding to the load of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And not only that, but the carbon dioxide, once it gets up in the atmosphere, lasts a long time. So it mixes very thoroughly throughout the global atmosphere. So the carbon dioxide that's up there, that we're breathing all the time, may have come from sources all over the place. It doesn't really matter where the cars are driving or where the smokestack is located. Sooner or later, that CO2 gets mixed throughout the global atmosphere.
So we really need to address climate change. It really has to be a worldwide effort. It can't just be one country or state at a time. But that's how governments work, is sort of one country and one state at a time. So
you're right, Katie, that a big political problem which has slowed down our ability to address this scientific problem that we all know is happening is that because CO2 gets mixed up and it doesn't really matter where the emissions come from, that ultimately the only way to try to reduce emissions and keep greenhouse gas levels down to some tolerable limit is by a big international agreement that everybody signs on to all around the world.
At what rate is the climate warming up year by year? And is that rate inclining a lot year by year?
On a year-by-year basis, the rate of warming all around the world sounds really low. It's warmed up maybe a little more than 1 degree Celsius. Something like 2 degrees Fahrenheit, perhaps, over the last century. So that doesn't sound like much, but in fact, compared to the way we think climate has very slowly changed and varied over the past 1,000 years, it's a really, really rapid rate of increase. And you have to use pretty sophisticated statistical methods to make a convincing argument that we can detect long-term change and separate it from just year-by-year natural variability. But a lot of people have spent a lot of time and effort to make that case, and it really is very convincing at this point.
Is all climate change bad?
I would say not. As a scientist, we don't really think in terms of good and bad change. That's reality. But it is certainly the case that most people would regard climate change as a difficult challenge in many parts of the world. But at the same time, there are places where the changes that are happening and that we think will continue to happen in the future might make life easier for people. And so it's not the case that the fact that the climate is changing at all is a terrible thing. It has impacts that vary all over the place, all over the world.
Some of those impacts include things like ice sheets in places where there was always ice. Like I'm thinking of Greenland or Antarctica. And what we're learning is that places like Antarctica and Greenland are losing these ice sheets. They're melting. That must have a huge impact everywhere else. I keep thinking if all the ice in Greenland melts, wouldn't that make our oceans rise?
Yes, indeed. We can measure ice melting in places like Greenland. And we can also measure oceans rising slowly and steadily. It's going to take a long time, we think, for the entire Greenland ice sheet to melt, but it's happening. And as the ice sheets on the continents melt, then that water flows into the ocean, and the ocean is like a gigantic global bathtub. If you add water to it, then the water level will rise, and that means that people that live near coastlines will get to watch the water rise up and up. It's happening now. So none of this is a huge mystery. We still are uncertain about the rate at which the ocean will rise, but it's already happening, and it's almost certain to continue happening far into the future through the lives of all the kids that we're talking to.
You're listening to the Children's Hour. Today we're talking with Dr. David Gutzler. He's a climate scientist, a professor emeritus at the University of New Mexico in Earth and Planetary Sciences.
Hey there, sunshine, are you getting warmer? Hey there, glacier, you're melting too soon. Hey there, ocean, are you getting higher? What can we do to keep our cool, cool, cool? Hey there, songbird, we haven't heard you singing. Hey there, polar bear, we're worried about you. Hey there, penguin, is that a warning that you're plastic things, carpool and drive EVs, and give back to the earth we've been given. Cut down the milk and meat, green power, the lights and heat. We'll sing this song on repeat as we do our part for the world that we live in. I'm Earth, the planet that you're on, you know, but I'm not feeling so well. My temperature's rising, species are dying, floods, droughts, and fires no longer surprising. I'm losing trees and my islands slowly disappear. It's getting harder and harder to make a home for you here.
Hey Earth, let me break it down for him. We're making those greenhouse gases, trapping heat in the atmosphere. They come from cars and plastics, cows and factories here. We're burning oil and coal and all that natural gas, releasing carbon dioxide and methane and releasing them fast. But hey, folks gotta live, yeah. People need to live, but look at what you give to the children after you. You need me, ooh, and I need you.
Hey, we'll stop chopping down our trees. They absorb carbon dioxide. We'll switch over to EVs or carpool, go for a bike ride. We'll stop using plastic things and take our own bags to the store. Let's change up the way we eat, a little less milk and meat. Let's switch to renewable power, unplug and take shorter showers. But please don't stop taking showers, that would be gross. Stop chopping down our trees, stop using plastic things, carpool and drive EVs, and give back to the earth that we give in. Cut down the milk and meat, green power, the lights and heat, and sing the song on repeat as we do our part for the world that we live in. Grown-ups, take it away.
We can write our governments and tell them to change. They might say it's impossible, but we can hold them responsible and help them to lead in cleaner energy.
What we do now will reverberate for centuries. We'll stop chopping down our trees, stop using plastic things, carpool and drive EVs, and give back to the earth we've been given. Cut down the milk and meat, green power, the lights and heat. We'll sing this song on repeat as we do our part for the world that we live in. We'll stop chopping down our trees, stop using plastic things, we'll carpool and drive EVs, and give back to the earth we've been given. Cut down the milk and meat, green power, the lights and heat. We'll sing this song on repeat as we do our part for the world that we live in. And we'll start today, chopping down our trees today, using plastic things today, yeah, yeah. Back to the earth we've been given. Cut down the milk and meat, green power, the lights and heat. We'll sing this song on repeat as we do our part for the world that we live in. And we'll start today.
You're listening to the Children's Hour. In the background, Poddington Bear. Hopscotch Songs brought us their climate change song, and Missoula Coyote Choir singing with Brandi Carlile opened up that set with Keep Our Cool. We're trying to keep our cool on the Children's Hour with climate scientist Dr. David Gutzler. He's been studying our changing climate for years and urging governments and companies and everyone to take action before it is too late. Our kids crew have a lot more questions for him, including what can kids possibly do to slow down the warming of our planet?
You're listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio. We'll be right back.
Outpost Performance Space in Albuquerque, New Mexico is a proud supporter of the Children's Hour. Find out more at outpostspace.org. Support for the Children's Hour provided by United Way of Central New Mexico. The Children's Hour is supported in part by an award from New Mexico Arts, a division of the New Mexico Department of Cultural Affairs, and the National Endowment for the Arts. Support for the Children's Hour is also provided by the City of Albuquerque's Cultural Services Department and the Urban Enhancement Trust Fund. Support for the Children's Hour is provided by Token Ibis, a nonprofit making philanthropy accessible to everyone. To sign up, go to tokenibis.org. You're listening to the Children's Hour. Today on the show, we're talking climate change. The kids have a lot of questions for our guest, Dr. David Gutzler. He is a climate scientist and professor emeritus at the University of New Mexico in Earth and Planetary Sciences.
What are some of the best ways to help persuade politicians to invest in long-term climate solutions?
Yeah, that's a great question. If alternative energy sources become cheaper and easier to implement, then that will certainly help countries all over the world transition away from fossil fuels. And that's starting to happen. So we're seeing tremendous changes downward in the costs of renewable energy. There's still a social problem associated with that is related to all the communities and people who've made a very good living producing energy for us over many decades. And a tremendous, real political and social problem is how to make the transition away from fossil fuels and toward renewables in a way that doesn't leave entire communities and states and countries even left behind. That's very difficult, and people are still working on it, but it's going to be a challenge for your generation to make that work.
What you're saying is that will happen automatically when renewable energy or non-fossil fuel emitting energy is much cheaper, which is happening. And in the United States, the amount of carbon we consumed last year in 2021 turned out to be less than we predicted we would consume because of electric cars and solar and wind energy, which is very encouraging. Now, we still used more fossil fuels and carbon-based pollutants than we did in 2020. So we're still going up, but we didn't use quite as many as we predicted based on years past.
Renewable energy is getting cheaper, and it's getting easier to implement. The question is whether that's happening fast enough to make a big difference in the rate of climate change. And remember, this has to happen worldwide to affect worldwide greenhouse gas emissions. So there is plenty of hope for the future to limit at some level the amount of climate change that is likely to happen here over the lifetime of the kids. But it's far from clear how rapidly that will continue. And again, emphasizing that this has to be worldwide. And for that to happen, we need to make sure that countries and communities are not left behind when we move away from fossil fuels.
Because sure, it's just like if you're driving a gas car today and you want to drive an electric car, you actually have to buy a new car right now. Same deal with these countries that might not be as wealthy, have to switch from burning coal in all of their electric production to something else. That switch alone costs a lot of money to make that switch. But if money is the only barrier to us solving climate change, it seems like that's doable.
I think it's all doable, but it remains to be seen how quickly we can make this happen.
So maybe the answer to Nathaniel is we need to put pressure on politicians to act fast.
Faster.
Are trains with lots of people on them any better than cars?
In general, Trains are very efficient in terms of using fuel. So certainly for moving freight, goods across the country, shipping goods on trains is a very efficient way to move stuff around, more so than on much smaller individual trucks. So to the extent that we can move toward trains and other forms of mass transportation, that will help us to use less fuel in general and less energy.
Is there any way we can help the animals that have been endangered by climate change?
What we can do to help both animals and ourselves is to try to limit the future climate change that is going to occur. And as we've discussed, the way to do that is for people to get together as an international community and resolve to limit our greenhouse gas emissions going forward. That's going to take some time, and it won't immediately stop climate change. There's not much we can do to just stop climate change immediately. But if we don't start working on it soon, like right now, then it'll just mean more and more climate change moving forward. It's going to take a big international effort to really change this situation.
There has been quite an international movement of children stepping up and pushing this topic to the very front of the consciousness of people worldwide.
Kids are doing a great job reminding our political leaders that the actions that we take as a society today, or the actions that we fail to take as a society today, are going to have profound, big impacts on you, on the next generation and the generation after that. Part of the political problem we face is that people who are worried about feeding their families, who are worried about where their next paycheck is going to come from or how they're going to pay their employees next week, have a very short-term economic focus. And it's very, very hard to convince a lot of people to take strong action today that might not benefit them this week for the benefit of future generations. That's a hard sell to make. But kids have been very vocal in reminding our leaders that it's important to do that. And I just have profound admiration for the young people who have had the courage to stand up and make that point very clearly. It really has made a difference.
Why do people ignore climate change? Well, some people.
That's a wonderful question. And I think the answer is that many people feel threatened by the lifestyle changes that would be required, or that they think would be required, to move away from fossil fuels and move toward different forms of energy production from renewables. Those feelings of threat, I think, are real. Globally, I think people are frightened that their livelihoods will be threatened, their standard of living will be threatened if we move aggressively away from fossil fuels. And so showing people that this is not a threat, it's an opportunity for all of us to live well and more sustainably, and in a way that doesn't affect the climate that you will grow up to live in, is an enormous challenge for us.
You're listening to the Children's Hour. Our guest today has been Dr. David Gutzler. He's Professor Emeritus at the University of New Mexico in the Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences, and his focus is on climate and climate change. Dr. Gutzler, we've learned a lot from you today, and it seems like there are solutions that are right within reach. And all we need right now is the will to enact those solutions. Does that seem about right to you for climate change resolution?
It does. We know how to do this. As an international community, what we have not been able to do is to implement the new energy solutions that will move us away from fossil fuels around the world quickly enough to allow people to enjoy all the benefits we get from abundant energy and still do that in a way that doesn't emit huge quantities of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. In principle, we know how to do it, but it is a difficult endeavor to make happen all around the world, which is what we need to do to change global greenhouse gas emissions.
Dr. Gutzler, thank you so much for being with us today on the Children's Hour.
You're most welcome. It's been my great pleasure.
Bye.
You say you love your children above all else, and yet you're stealing their future in front of their very eyes.
She's not going to school today until the adults grow up and change their ways. She says, call it when it is a climate emergency. Take off the kid gloves and start an insurgency. And they bully her because they have no arguments of substance. Time. Stop pretending things are fine. You're throwing away our future and our planet's on the line. We're having much time. Stop pretending things are fine. You're throwing away our future. Let our hopes and dreams survive. We're having much time. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up. Stop stealing our future. Wake up, you're stealing our future. Greta says it's a complicated problem at hand, but the answer's so simple, a young child can understand. Stop all emissions by changing the industries linked. If we don't stand a chance, we will all go extinct. And they bully her because they have no empathy for anyone. We're having much time. Stop pretending things are fine. You're throwing away our future and our planet's on the line. We're having much time. Stop pretending things are fine. You're throwing away our future. Let our hopes and dreams survive. We're having much time. It's a crisis, treat it like one. Wake up, wake up, wake up, time to rise up. It's a crisis, treat it like one. Wake up, wake up, wake up, time to rise up. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up, you're stealing our future. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up, stop stealing our future. Wake up, we're having much time. Stop pretending things are fine. You're throwing away our future and our planet's on the line. We're running out of time. Stop pretending things are fine. You're throwing away our future. Let our hopes and dreams survive. Survive. We're having much time.
You are never too small to make a difference.
Greta Says is Jumpin' Jamie from Nevermind the Blocks. I'm Katie Stone. We're going to go out with one more by Conscience the MC. We'll catch you next time for another edition of the Children's Hour.
Take back the climate.
It's our world, it's our voice to turn things around. It's it's our choice. Gotta learn to love the planet. See, that's a fact. It's our home, so we gotta take it back. The climate, take it back. The sky, take it back. The air that we need to survive. Do your part until you see a cleaner world for you and for me. Take it
Yo,
back.
wake up in the morning, fresh air I breathe. Look out the window at nature I see. Birds flying high, flowers, tall trees. Earth is amazing, a wonder to me. Go different places, see so many things like the population of animals who breed. All in competition for biotic needs. Fed by the sunlight, water and green leaves. It seems we're in a habitat environments are critical. Condition to fix it might need a miracle. For every resource, of course, there's a need. And vital to how we all proceed. Indeed.
Climate, take it back. The sky.
We survive. No more pollution, no more cloud in my eyes. Wildlife had nowhere to reside when everything should have a place to be alive. Look, we gotta reverse. Damage the environment is taken for it gets much worse. Mother Nature not made for her. She gave life to every living thing. Can't neglect her work. Gotta get back what we take. Follow the rules we make. Everybody plays a part. Life's at stake. For every resource, of course, there's a need. And vital to how we all proceed. Indeed.
Climate, take it back. The sky.
Living zero as we become Earth's hero. No carbon footprints, the benefits take the climate much farther. Letting nature cool. Leading an industrial revolution. This is our fight, our plight to take back the climate.
It's our world, it's our voice to turn things around. It's our choice, gotta learn to love the planet. See, that's a fact. It's our home, so we gotta take it back.
Children's Hour is an independent production of the Children's Hour Incorporated, a New Mexico nonprofit corporation.
Our show was written by Katie Stone, with help from all of us in the kids' crew.
Find lots of information about us at childrenshour.org.
Many thanks to Dr. David Gutzler for being with us on the show today, and to our engineer, Chad Shear at The Outpost.
Our podcast can be found wherever you get your podcasts, or at patreon.com/The Children's Hour.
Or ask your smart speaker to play the Children's Hour podcast.
We post our photos and more on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Find us at TCH Radio.
Our theme music is written by C.K. Bilo.
The Children's Hour is distributed by the Children's Hour Incorporated, PRX, and the Pacifica Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.